the American housewife. Who has a more important, a more responsible occupation? Wife, mother, laundress, maid, chef. All of these are her duties at one time or another.
But what if I don't get married? What good will all this do me then?
You may not get married. Not right away, at least.
Hello, Grandma.
Hello, Audrey.
Hi. Can you turn your camera on?
Yeah, I can. I thought it was on. It almost always on. Let me see how to do that.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
What do you remember about the 1950s?
I remember I was in elementary school. I was a post-war baby. It was a very simple time. And it was always put in the back of my mind that when I grow up, I'll be a good cook. When I grow up, I can make my clothes. And I would say I was probably the last one in my graduating class to get married.
And how old were you when you got married?
I was 22. We weren't expected to do anything else but be housewives and mothers. And if you didn't know how to sew and bake and cook, you weren't going to make a man a happy person.
But wait a minute, young lady. How did you get into this picture? Look at your hair. Look at that blouse. And the way that skirt hangs. And those socks. You don't seem to be exactly the type to make this guy behave like a human being. Let's start all over again. Oh, brother. Oh, brother is right. Look at that hair, that skin, that mouth. And now look at that blouse. And now look at the skirt. And the socks. Thanks a lot for helping us prove a point.
Tell me a little bit about Grandma Swihart. Was she what we would consider a typical 1950s housewife?
I don't think so, because she was a farmer's wife. My mom would come in with her work clothes on from the field and wash up and start a meal right then. We lived in the country, so there was no time to get makeup and hair done. It was real important to be economical, so she made all our clothes, and typically it was on a Saturday that we would go to the grocery store. We went up to Mooney's on the corner, and we would shop those 4 aisles of groceries. And it was much more cost efficient than it was to go out and eat.
American women often have the deciding voice in whatever we come to buy. They offer her the romance, the adventure of choosing from foods gathered from the 4 corners of America, and indeed from all the world. All well lighted for selection, placed where she can reach them, arranged for time-saving as well as money-saving selection.
It was really important that we learn those basic homemaking skills. Cooking, sewing, craft classes, all those aspects of being a well-rounded young woman. When we learned how to cook, we learned that we had to have a balanced meal. Learning how to bake from scratch instead of using a box. And
like I do, using
yeah. Well, you're doing better. I know you're doing better. I probably had 30 cookbooks by the time I got married. The way to a man's heart was through his stomach. And you really wanted to know how to cook to win his heart over.
How much time each day do Mrs. America spend in their kitchen? An hour? 3 hours? Maybe longer?
That depends on what we're having and how the cooking is done.
I see. Well, let's have a look inside a few kitchens. Pardon me, madam. Don't look now, but your pot is boiling over.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I didn't go to college because my father said women don't need to go to college. The emphasis for women was not to have a career at all. Find yourself a man, get married, and have a family. Who wants to do that for the rest of their life? I think the independence that women have these days, the ability to make decisions on their own, there wasn't that before. We kind of push you and Ava and all the other grandchildren to find something that they really want to do. You have much more advantage than I did in that regard.